And I'm, and I'm like, hang on, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Downloadable Content. We are SJ.
And Alex Herschel. Today, we are going to give you guys 10 games each to get to know us as gamers.
Let's get right into it. How are you, Alex?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. This is our last recording before I leave for Japan, so I'm kind of frantically putting together final pieces, and my mom's actually going to call me in a couple of hours to figure out a couple of last-minute details, and it's coming together, though. You know, it'll be good. So we're very excited, and if you are subscribed to our Patreon, you will be seeing pictures and videos as my wife and I go on our trip, and we'll be posting updates and things there. Some of which will include Nintendo content because we're going to be in Nintendo land.
It's exciting stuff. That's going to be so sick. I'm really excited to
I'm really excited,
hear about it, both in the way that's shared in the podcast and just checking in here and there. It's going to be sick. Yeah. Be super cool.
Anything new with you?
No, except my senioritis is hitting me bad.
You're done after spring, right?
Yeah, so I've got a semester and a half left. My schedule this semester, one of my classes met for an extra 40 minutes each class session, which means that we wrapped it up last week. So I'm already done with one of my classes for this semester, even though it's only the first week in November. And then a couple of my other classes have turned out to be really, really easy. One of my classes, the professor who teaches it has been given a lot of extra responsibilities as of like a month ago, which means that they've got a whole bunch of other stuff going on that they're kind of dealing with, which means that their effort in our class has had to kind of diminish to make up for that.
They can't.
Which means that I'm really only left with like one class that I have to try for, and I was hoping that like that just means like all the energy that I would have put into other classes would just go all into this one. But the reality has been, like, because all my other classes are so easy, like, I don't want to put effort into this last one as well. So my work ethic is awful at the moment. I just don't want to go to class. Like, I'm ready for the semester to be done, and we still have a month and a half. So, but it's great. It's fine. It's fine.
But it's exciting though, right? That you're almost done.
Almost done.
Like,
almost done.
You're really getting there.
We'll see. We'll see. So, yeah. Also, not related to our main topic at all. But let's talk about the Christmas season for just a second.
Okay.
Because I know that there are people who very passionately, once Halloween is over, it is Christmas time. People start getting into it. And I know that's a thing outside of the U.S. as well, because I know that for other countries that don't celebrate like Thanksgiving, like the United States does in between the two holidays, right? It just kind of makes sense to move on to the next holiday. Mm-hmm. And I kind of have mixed feelings about it, because like I love Christmas, and I think it's great that people want to celebrate Christmas for so long. But like I am also like a staunch believer that like Christmas music doesn't start until you're leaving Thanksgiving dinner, and Christmas decorations go up on Black Friday, not before that. So I'm curious.
Black Friday.
Right, it's just the day right after Thanksgiving, right? You can start celebrating it. It's fine. I don't need to wait for December to roll around.
Yeah. No, that actually makes sense. I do have some thoughts on that.
Let's hear it.
I used to be a hardcore believer of that as well. And in principle, I still am. What I've come to realize, and I'm sure you have as well, but I guess this depends on like the degree to which you do decorations and Christmas celebrations in your household. But Erica, my wife, loves to do Christmas decorations. Our Christmas tree is very elaborate. There are so many decorations. All of the lights, it is hand strung by me. it takes a tremendous amount of time to set it up and take it down. So, with that in mind, I understand the people's desires to want to set it up as soon as Halloween is over, because if you're going to put in that much effort, you want to be able to have it up as long as possible. Like, I understand that, but I do think it takes the spotlight away from Thanksgiving. And like Thanksgiving, I mean, yeah, you get together and eat a lot of food, but like if that's all you consider it to be, I do think it takes the spirit out of the Thanksgiving holiday to begin with. So like, you know, I am also not going to put up Christmas decorations until Black Friday. But if other people do it, I'm a lot less judgmental these days. Yeah.
I think part of the hard thing for me, and this isn't the case all the time because, you know, weather is crazy where we live, and it's very hard to understand. But like, Christmas is so associated with snow that like if there's not snow, but people are trying to like get into the Christmas mood, like it just doesn't connect in my brain, right? There's just kind of a barrier for it.
It sucks when there's no snow. We haven't had snow in years.
Right, like we really haven't had.
Yeah. On Christmas Day, yeah.
And I'm like, I would rather, you know, even though now at this point, because things are cold enough, right, like the colors of fall are definitely kind of faded. I do like the more like it's chilly, but it's not wet yet. Like this is my type of weather. For those of you
it's good, man,
who live in the area, this is what I love.
It's good.
So, and yeah, that's not a controversial opinion. I feel like a lot of people love this weather, right? It's just
when you can put on a coat, be cozy.
So, yeah, and to kind of speak to your point, I guess because Liv and I live in our apartment, right? Like we just don't have a lot of Christmas decorations right now, right? We're still in the smaller stages, and Liv did not want to deal with the hassle of a tree, so we do have an artificial tree that has lights in it. So like for us, putting up the Christmas tree is literally like a 5-minute process.
Yeah.
And then we put out, well, that's not true, because then we have to put the ornaments on. We have our ornaments that we like and a couple other little figures here and there. But yeah, I mean, it takes an hour at most, and that's because we're lollygagging and watching a Christmas show while we're doing it, right? So
and having the lights already on the tree, that is the real time saver there.
100%.
Because it takes me a good couple of hours to set all that up.
Well, right, and like because you'll get it all there, but then you'll like kind of look at it, and I'm sure Erica helps you as well. But you kind of see like spots where you're like, this needs to be adjusted, right?
And you can't just quickly make adjustments.
Right, it's like you have to start over. You gotta
undo the whole thing, because if you gotta perfectly portion out.
Like honestly, like like I'm sure like at this point you and Erica just like level by level, right? Like you have to you'll start at the bottom, figure it out, look at the bottom, and be like, okay, is this good? Great, move on, up and up and up, and so hopefully it mitigates some of the rehashing. But I'm sure it's
the method I've come to relatively is I'll just loosely string around the lights from the top to the bottom to just even out the ratio of tree to light, and then from there I'll wrap them around, you know, and then just slowly adjust the entire thing, because that method you were describing is how I did it at first, where I would, you know, kind of perfect the bottom first, make sure it looks good, and then move up. The problem with that was whenever I did that, I always like didn't have enough lights at the top, or ended up with a lot of extra lights at the top.
Sure.
So, and then I'd have to undo the whole thing, which is a pain in the butt. But.
Are you guys a white lights or a colored lights?
We are a warm white lights.
That's what I prefer too. When I was a kid, little bit of a lore drop for you. When I was a kid, our family would alternate. We had a set of white lights and a set of colored lights, and we would alternate year to year. And I used to like the colored lights more because that meant that like we could put whatever ornaments we wanted on there, right? So we had like the traditional bulbs, but all the like Disney ornaments that we received from our grandparents, that was the year that could go up, and that's what I really liked. But when it was the white lights, it was like the elegant, classy look that my mom really enjoyed. And so there weren't like fun ornaments, right? It was just whites and silvers and that kind of stuff because that's what she liked. So I always liked the colored lights more. But now that I have my and she doesn't do that anymore. She's she lets her kids do whatever they want. But now that it's our tree, right? Like we have the white lights and Liv's all about the Disney decorations, so we just throw them all up there. Looks great. It's a good time.
That's pretty much what we do too.
Yeah.
But we're picky with the white lights. Like it's got to be a warm hue. Like if it's like,
right? It's got like the yellow gold.
It can't be like
feel,
6,000K bright
right LEDs.
LEDs.
Right.
Like
right.
that's just not gonna work. Yeah,
Right.
it's yeah, and then we have all our Disney stuff,
Nice.
that I've got too, and that's where the color comes from is
Sure.
like the white lights reflecting against the colorful stuff on the tree,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let us know what your Christmas traditions or when it comes to decorations, your thoughts, your opinions. Go ahead and let us know in the Discord. But are you ready for our...
I have a quick gaming update.
Great.
And this is kind of big. I finished Pikmin 1. Pretty quick. I don't think I ever beat that game fully as a kid, but as an adult, I did it. It was fine. I enjoyed it.
How'd your
Good
ship
time.
end up?
100%ed it.
Nice.
Yeah. Got every part. Started playing Pikmin 2. It's nice to be able to not have a time limit. Like, you still have the day cycle, but you can take as many days as you want. The underground levels don't have any... You play Pikmin 2?
Not Pikmin 2.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. Keep going.
You have, like, underground caves you dive
Sure.
into and stuff, and when you do that, there's no, like, time of day you have to worry about because you're underground. And it's nice. Yeah. And it's a really good iteration on Pikmin 1, and I definitely never finished Pikmin 2 as a kid, so I plan to finish it this time around. I don't know if I'll finish it while I'm in Japan, because Pikmin 2, I love it, but it's also not the kind of game that I can play for, hours and hours and hours straight. So,
Sure.
like, I can't play Pikmin 2 for the entirety of the flight to Japan.
Sure.
So I was searching for a game that I could do that with.
Well, hold up. Well, why were you searching for a game? Well,
So
have you
okay,
updated them on the other thing?
here are the other... Wait. What's the other thing?
Well, just that you finished a game that we'd kind of...
Jedi Survivor?
Right. Have we
talked
talked about that yet? You texted me. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast.
Maybe we hadn't. I finished Jedi Survivor. Oh, I think you're right. We hadn't talked about that. I really liked it. We'll definitely do a review episode, but that's going to go on the back burner because I want to talk about it once Alex is done as well. And you're playing Tales of Arise, and that'll take some time. So. And Skyrim. So, kind of time eaters. But that's okay. That's all right. The other game I'm currently playing is Radical Red, the Pokemon ROM hack.
Uh-huh.
But I also don't know if I could play that for the entirety of the flight either.
Yeah, probably not.
I thought about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I thought about it.
And you didn't?
I didn't.
No.
Because I don't know what it is, man. I think I've become more and more spoiled as I've become a PC gamer. Whoa, voice crack. Because like $60, $70 feels so steep to me. It's normal, but it feels so steep. And then so like I had Donkey Kong Bonanza in the back of my mind. If I didn't find anything else, I was gonna buy Bonanza.
I mean, I can't judge you, right? Like, I haven't bought Bonanza either, right? And my
Yeah.
reasons are a lot more
Yeah.
arbitrary than that. So,
So I had it in the back of my mind. So a couple days ago, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go on a search. I'm gonna search on Steam because my goal was to have every game I wanted to play on my Steam Deck. So I could just have one machine. I didn't want to bring that and the Switch, or I just wanted to bring one of them. And my hope was that I would go on Steam, find a new game I could play,
the anticipation.
and then play that and the ROM hack and Pikmin 2 and whatever else I already have in my library, including Skyrim, whenever I want on the exact same system. And that'd be a beautiful solution, right? So I go on there. I'm scrolling through the list of games that play great on the Steam Deck. They have a whole dedicated section for it on the Steam store. I'm scrolling.
Oh, come on, man.
And I see Power World. and I'm and I'm like, hang on, wait a minute. I like Pokemon. I like base building. I like exploration. Let me watch a couple reviews. So I go to YouTube and I search, is Power World good in 2025? Because it came out in alpha like early 24, I think, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was over a year ago. And I watched some stuff about it and I'm like, okay, like I don't like what Game Freak's doing right now, so let me see what the competition's doing. So I bought Power World and it was on sale, dude. It was on sale, $25 off. Or 25% off.
So how much did you pay?
Like $25 including tax.
Okay.
Yeah. And I started the game because I wanted to make sure that it's something that I would enjoy. Because Steam is a thing where, like, if your playtime is like under, I think it's like 2 hours or something, you can get a full refund for it. I've played over 2 hours, and I've like, I'll just say the only thing I'll say, because this is not an episode about Power World, the amount of stuff you can do in there, like, I just barely started the game, but I've put in like a good few hours. I've only caught like 2-3 different types of pals, and there's already so much stuff for me to do in like building my base, farming resources, and like the thing that really makes it amazing is if you like games that are like survival focused or like resource management or base building and stuff, right? You have to manage your hunger, you've got to do all that stuff, and you need resources to expand your abilities, your capabilities, and your base and whatnot. You don't have to do all the tedious stuff yourself. That's the thing that turns me away from a lot of those survival games, because it gets tedious. You can have the pals just do it for you. It's just Pokemon slavery. But like there's like a kind of a, but I treat my pals well, right? Like if they're overworked, I'll swap them out. I give them the good beds. I'm about to build a spa for them so they have increased or improved work-life situation. Anyway, I'm playing Power World. That's it.
Well, all right. That was not what I expected.
Yeah, I figured.
At all.
I figured.
But that's great. That's great. I am glad that you're enjoying it, and I'm sure, after being able to put a good chunk of time in on your flight there and then on your flight back, that it'll be a swell time. I'm excited to hear more of your thoughts.
Yeah. Yep. Very excited. If any of you have played the game, let me know. I don't think we have anyone in the audience that has played Power World, but let me know anyways, because it's cool because they have multiplayer, it's cross-platform, like, it's pretty good. But and the 1.0 release is coming next year, so I'm excited to see what they have in store for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
For me, for progress, for Tales of Arise, I am pretty sure that I've finished the third kingdom, or I'm at least like about to go into the final battle of that third kingdom, because I had a boss fight.
Okay.
I've got 5 party members now.
Okay.
So
wait, can you describe the party members real quick? So you got your main character.
You got him. You got the gunner. I've got the mage. I've got the brawler, the fighter guy. And I got the one with the big old shield. Yes.
The knight. Right.
And and so she just joined, went through that section, had that boss battle at the end of that, and it looks like we're about to wrap up, but there's probably another, either a dungeon where I probably got to go through the palace or something and talk to some people and then move on. But so that's where we're at. That.
Are you liking the story so far?
So I kind of made a mistake where I'm playing it in English. Did you play it in English or in Japanese?
Japanese.
Yeah. So
The voice acting is really good in Japanese.
I'm playing it in English, and I was about to switch it when Liv started watching me, and Liv doesn't like having to read subtitles to understand what's going on.
Oh,
so now I'm kind of stuck in it where
I'm so sorry.
I kind of just have to continue in it. And it's not that it's particularly bad. I think the story is purposeful, you know?
I gotta be honest, not having good voice acting in that game, or I'm not gonna say that they're bad because I haven't heard the English ones, but having good voice acting in it completely changes the optics of the story.
I
like
think
it's such an integral part of how that game.
Right. I still think the gameplay is fun. I still really like the music, right? I think, and I don't think it would be as much of a problem if there weren't all the little, I think they call them skits, right? Where you get the little prompt in the bottom and they do like the comic book pane type thing.
Yeah.
Because you like click one, you'll go through it, and then there's another one right away. And then you click it and go through it, and then there's another one right away. And so because there's a good amount of those, I think that's where it like starts to take me out. When it's like actually like playing the game, I'm good with it, even if I've heard the same vocal lines of, you know, as they wrap up their battle and stuff, right? Like that doesn't bother me.
How is the voice acting in like the cutscenes, like the 3D cutscenes? Because there's a lot of those in that game that I thought were really good.
It's fine. I think everyone that is not a part of the main cast does better than the actual main cast.
Oof, that's sad. That's really sad.
Like Alphen sounds pretty generic. Shion sounds like a generic tsundere person. Rinwell is very her voice is like very high pitched. I really like her little owl though. I don't remember if we talked about that in your review at all.
I don't think so.
But I love him. He's great. And then Law's actually played by a voice actor that I've seen in a couple anime before I started watching in sub, and is in a couple of Liv's favorite shows as well, just because he does a lot of voice acting for a bunch of different stuff. And sometimes that kind of takes us out of it because we're like, oh, remember when so-and-so happens in this? Yeah, so I think if I had played it in Japanese, the story would probably be more enjoyable as it is now. It's not bad. It's just...
Oh, that just breaks my heart because there are so many scenes I can think of where like the delivery and the cutscenes were so well done that it was like it just strikes you at the heart.
I was looking through last year's Game of the Year awards that we gave out.
Yeah.
Our Game Awards show. And I did see that you had chosen Tales of Arise as your best narrative. And I was like a little surprised, but I was like, oh, but if it was a Japanese, right, it probably would come across a lot better. So anyway, and in Skyrim, I'm really confused as to where I am in that game. Because I went and did a whole bunch of stuff on an island where you like leave the corner of the map and go to this other island in Morrowind instead. And I found out that's one of the expansions, right? That's not a part of the base game. Yeah. But I did everything there. Not everything, right? Because, I mean, how is anyone going to...
So you kind of started
like, I did the entire story over there, right? So, like, I wrapped up the conflict there and then came back. But, like, I don't know which quests on my thing are, like, part of the main story, versus which ones aren't. Because, like, they kind of haven't broken down into miscellaneous and then named quests. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of named quests, and I'm like, I don't remember which of these is, like, technically the main story. So I don't know if I just am not doing anything to progress the story. I'm having a great time. I'm still kind of getting my butt handed to me all the time by enemies.
Oh, that happens. That totally happens.
I was like trying to figure out, I'm like, am I doing something wrong? And then I was like, well, no, with like the level scaling, right? And like, I'm still getting used to the combat. Obviously, I've never played this game, and
like strafing is the key.
right,
Like the little, moving back and forth, and then like you back up when they do the thing, and then you go in, and
yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's been a good time.
Well, if you ever want to know, just take a picture of your quest list, and I'll tell you which one's the main one, because I'm sure I remember.
How many playthroughs have you had on it?
Oh gosh, PS3, Switch, VR, Steam Deck, and I know I played one other time on one other system. Yeah, it's my 5th playthrough right now. Good game. All right, man. Good stuff.
Okay.
Well, should we get to it?
Yeah. What's our timestamp at currently?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah, OBS doesn't tell me.
That was probably a
Oh,
really...
it does. 26 minutes.
26 minutes of an intro.
Let's go.
So, yeah, so I'm sure many of you have seen this if you listen to other podcasts or just on Instagram in general, but a trend that's kind of going around right now, right, is 10 blanks to get to know me, right? So I've seen this done for albums, I've seen it done for books, movies, TV shows, everything. And I know that some gaming podcasts have done this. I think I've only listened to one of them, but I really liked the idea, so I brought it to SJ, and he was down. So this is not our top 10 favorite games. It's not a top 10 of any specific feature, but just an attempt to kind of illustrate more of ourselves. So there'll probably be some ones that won't be surprising. There might be some that you're like, oh, I'm surprised that would be one that you would use to kind of introduce yourself to someone. And then there are probably some that are kind of shocking, or ones that you haven't really heard us talk about before.
I do have a couple of like questions. So like there are a few ways I think you can go about this.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like you could say, 10 games that like describe my personality or me as a person or whatever. I was looking at this as like 10 games that kind of have paved the foundation of me as a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's not the top 10 games, like top 10 favorite games, but a little bit of that.
Right, a lot of these will probably be among your favorites, right?
Yeah, but like different kind of games from different genre that kind of make up like, that would kind of define who I am as a gamer, basically, is kind of how I took it. I
kind of took a similar approach, but also with kind of the added benefit of like, there are aspects of this that I think bleed into other parts of my life as well, or impacted why I enjoyed a game as much because of things outside of it being a game, right? Like whether that's the experience of playing or a variety of things that I'll try to explain as good as I can as we go through.
Okay.
And before we share them, right, we kind of want to see if we're each going to list a couple of games that we think might be on the other's list, just to see if we know each other as gamers as well as we think we do.
I think you'll have Pokemon Pearl.
Okay.
Or Diamond, or whichever, that generation. I think you'll have Grease on there.
Okay.
I think you'll have... Mario Party... What is it, 4 or 5? Your favorite one? I think 4.
Okay.
4. I think you'll have Eastward. Oh, Wind Waker, duh, obviously. Obviously, Wind Waker. If that's not on there, then your list is fraudulent.
Right, just immediately void and canceled.
Those are some ones that come
interesting.
Off the top of my head.
I think for you, we will see Ocarina of Time. I think we will see Elite Dangerous. I think we'll see Smash. And I'm trying to think of the first VR game that you ever told me about, because I feel like VR is enough to get a mention, but like probably not more than one game. I don't know. That'll be my fake entry is some VR game, and I won't count Skyrim as that, because I know that Skyrim VR was. I mean, we just went through the list. We're at like your third or fourth experience with Skyrim, so not counting Skyrim as the VR title, but some other game. So
I will say Skyrim VR is one of the best things you can do in VR.
I believe it.
Anyway, should we just go through one by one?
Yeah, and this
turns?
list isn't in any particular order for me.
All right.
It's just kind of.
I kind of have it ordered.
The only one that I have ordered is the very last one.
Okay.
But
all right.
And sorry, I have to throw this out there. Something that might surprise some of you is there actually is not a single Pokemon game on my list.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
Anyway,
I swear, like at least once a year, you text me and you're like, "I'm feeling the Pokemon itch, man. I gotta play Pokemon."
I know, and I'll get into why I think later in the video. But let's start. Go ahead and give us one of yours.
All right. So just to be clear, my order is kind of like it starts from childhood,
like chronologically,
approach. Like what's happened and what's been the key games in my life, I guess. First one is Pokemon. Yeah. If I had to nail down a game or two, it would be 3rd and 4th gen, Emerald and Diamond. I spent a crazy amount of time with my friends in Japan in those 2 generations, battling, trading. I thought it was like the craziest thing when like I found out one of my friends had a Game Shark that could like hack in, Muse and whatever, right? There's just so much nostalgia associated with it, and it's such a, I just have a lot of fond memories. And Pokemon, I think, was really one of the games that might be my first game that I really got into. Mm-hmm. And was able to play like all on my own. It was my own Game Boy Advance or DS or whatever that I actually like felt passionate about. Like I'd played video games before that too, like Dr. Mario and some other older stuff. But anyway, yeah, that's my first one.
Nice. My first one is in fact Mario Party 4. Nailed that one on the head.
Let's go.
When I was younger, right, a lot of the games that my family owned from like the GameCube era were multiplayer games, because it was supposed to be a way for me and Tyler to, I don't fully know why. I assume that's partially part of it. But me and Tyler played a lot of Mario Party 4. Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those games where every once in a while I'll just go through and look up the boards. I don't know if this is how it is in other Mario Party games, but if you're playing single player, each of the characters has like a little dollhouse type of thing, and so as you clear boards on different difficulties, you get like these little parts that like go in their house. Like for Wario, you get like his motorcycle at one point, and for Yoshi, you get a big Yoshi egg that's kind of like looks like a beanbag chair or something. There's just so much charm in it, and I think very, very fondly on it. I think it's got one of the best collections of mini games in the series, and it is certifiably a banger.
Would you mostly play like the party mode?
Yeah.
With him and then 2 CPUs?
Yeah.
What would you set the difficulty?
Oh, I mean, we were young, right? Like, the Wii came out when I was 5, so we were. I was a young boy. Yeah. So I assume easy. There was no way we played on hard.
Right.
It was easy or normal.
Right.
No way it was higher than that.
That's fun, man. That's awesome.
Also, like, hard computers in Mario Party kind of go crazy.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
They're nuts. All right.
All right. My second one is Ocarina of Time. Yeah, you got that right for sure. This game, so it has a really special place in my heart. One, because I love Zelda. This was my introduction to Zelda, and I absolutely loved it. There were parts of it that terrified me when I was a kid at the time. Like, I could not play against Queen Goma. It was just so scary to me as a kid. Like, it freaked me out when you look up at the ceiling and the eyeball looks down at you. And I would just ask my dad to do that part. But that's the other part of it, is that my parents were divorced at this time. And so, you know, every couple of weeks or once a month, I don't remember how frequently it was, but my sister and I would go over to, or my dad would come and pick us up and we'd spend time together. We'd go to theme parks. And then times when I did stay at his apartment, this was the game that we'd play together. And it was a really awesome, like, I mean, we were already close with my dad, but it was just additional bonding,
Right.
with the dad. So, yeah.
Nice.
It's a great game.
The next one on here is the NCAA football series of games. I decided to just kind of lump them all into one.
Is there a difference year after year?
Rosters change, but no, that is about it. I think, right, like I love football. I played football growing up. Even now I try to watch as much football as I can. I really enjoy the sport. And the game was kind of a way for me, as much as I loved it, my physical abilities for football were never like truly elite or anything. And so it allowed me to live out some fantasies in a way, but just, and something about the gameplay loop, like, really is just timeless to me, right? Like, there's so many different things that you can self-impose on yourself if you want to, or you can have the escapist fantasy where you beat teams by 70 points because you're just that much better than them. Yeah, endlessly satisfying. Like, I picked up, they did a new college version of the game for the first time in a long time, because now they have laws that allow athletes that aren't professional to, make money off of their image and likeness and stuff. I picked that up like the season after because it was on sale for like $10, right? Because the new version had come out. And yeah, every once in a while, go in, play a couple games. It's still a good time. Still something that I imagine, as long as I play games, I will probably have a copy of a football game that I play every once in a while.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I should have known that. I know you like the football games. My next one is Super Mario Sunshine. Yeah, it to this day is my favorite 3D Mario game. When I played Odyssey for the first time, I was like, oh, this is better than Sunshine, 100%. But I think it was recency bias a little bit. Because now that I've played both games, it's been a long time since I played both. If someone were to ask me which game would you rather go back and play right now, I would say Sunshine. I could go back and play Sunshine any day and have a great time doing it. It's just something about the way Mario feels and controls. I just like the mechanics of that game. Also, Mario Sunshine Water, hard to top that. It's crazy how that was like crazy visuals, man. Like, if you remember what Mario Sunshine Water looks like, it is freaking beautiful. Like, there are modern day AAA games that don't do water as well as that game did. Anyway, that's a tangent, but
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Well, I'll throw my Mario pick on here right now, then. I am going to go with Super Mario Odyssey. I think for this one, this is one of the entries that kind of goes beyond the game aspect, but the visuals and just like the utter creativity and variety I felt going through it, because each world, there are power-ups that kind of cross over in between worlds, but each of them also has one that you kind of really only experience on each world as you're going through it. I love that it's not like set levels and it's instead here's the world, right? The world system that they've used in Mario games for forever, and just go collect a bunch of stuff. I love the freedom. I think it's the best way that Mario's ever moved. I think that we've kind of discussed this, how our differing opinions on Mario movement, but it's the peak for me so far. I adore this game pretty much in every way. I think it's one of the most consistently polished and good games across everything that makes up a game, of anything that I've ever had the joy of playing. Like I can't think of anything looking back where I'm like, yeah, that part of it was kind of weak. Like I guess I just really enjoyed every world, every aspect of it as I was going through it.
And I'll be honest, like if Mario Odyssey was the game that I played growing up as a kid, that probably would be my favorite.
Sure.
I'm just guessing, because like how Mario's movement and mechanics in that game feel so good too, you
Right.
know. But I think it's just subjectivity at the end of the day.
100%.
Yeah, now you're making me wonder if I should go back and replay Odyssey.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of a good time.
My next one is Super Smash Brothers. I played every single one of them as they came out. I never owned Mario 64 or Smash 64, but I had a good friend of mine that did. So after school, I would walk over to his house like almost every day and play Smash with him until it was starting to get dark, and then I'd walk home. And I really started to get serious with Smash in Melee. And I think I've said this before on the podcast. I even had the book right in that bookcase over there. I religiously studied that book. I have read that book from front to back over and over and over again. And that's how I learned about L canceling. I learned about, a whole bunch of other mechanics. Like, not unintended mechanics aren't in there, like wave dashing and stuff, but L canceling, that is a intended mechanic, and a bunch of other things. And I don't know why I fell in love with this so much. I think the first time I played it actually was our Uncle Seth. When we came to visit in the States once, you were really little at that time. I don't even know if you remember.
I mean, Melee came out in 02, 03. I was 1 or 2 years old.
Yeah,
dating myself there a little bit, but yeah, I wasn't talking
because Tyler was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I mean, we were all young, right? But Seth had Melee, and we played it at our grandparents' house, and I was like so hooked. And then after that, like I went back to Japan, and I'm like, I gotta have Melee, and then got it, and then I just fell in love with it. And if I had to pick one favorite entry for me, my favorite to watch is Melee. I still follow competitive Melee to this day. I watch most of the top players' games and stuff. Like Your Football is my Melee.
Right.
Yeah. But to play is Smash Ultimate. That's my favorite to play. But anyway.
It's a good pick.
Good stuff, man.
Kind of started us. So Smash 4.
Absolutely. If it weren't for Smash, like we wouldn't be doing this.
Smash 4. Back in
Smash
2015, 2016, something like that. The next one for me is Kingdom Hearts 2.
That's also my next one.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
We can just kind of cross over here then. So for me, my first exposure to Kingdom Hearts was at one of our different uncles, Jake's house. Jake had the first Kingdom Hearts, and it wasn't frequent, but it was frequent enough that I have memories of it happening multiple times, where Tyler and I would sleep over at Jake's house. Back when they were in Sugar House and close to and some other family members, and we went over, and Tyler would play and I would watch. But every time, like, we would start Kingdom Hearts over on his PlayStation 2, which has one of the greatest startup sequences on a console ever. But I think it's everything. I think it's that the intro is so engaging and draws you in, even though it doesn't tell you anything and is like really confusing from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
The fact that Disney characters are involved, and I think also just that it probably also had something to do with like we didn't have that, right? Like we didn't own it, so it was like one of those things where
It's like
we
extra
like
special.
this, but we don't have it. Right.
Yeah.
So the rarity kind of added it until we owned it, in our household later. And as great as Kingdom Hearts 1 is, and when I was doing my playthrough of the games last year, Kingdom Hearts 1 is underrated compared to the rest of the series. I think it's way better than people give it credit for. But Kingdom Hearts 2 is kind of incredible. Like, it's just better than the first one in so many ways. And the theme song for that game will almost always make me emotional. There are just aspects of it that are just so finely tuned.
It's playing in my head right now as
Even
I speak.
even more Disney love and Disney worlds that you get to go experience, and just a great time. It really is. I feel like it's one of those games that a lot of people won't experience because the story is what it is and because it's a weird mashup. But like, I don't know many people that I've actually listened to that have played it that like don't enjoy it on one level or another.
Yeah, that's
like if you give it a chance, you can find something about it that you enjoy.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people play that or back in the day played that kind of as, at least for me, like I played it in my, early teenage years. Mm-hmm. And that's when you start to have certain sophisticated feelings and things, right? Like your mind is developing and like the kind of things that the characters go through and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's simple, but there's just enough simple. Nice. There's just enough depth for like a young teenager to like take a game seriously,
Sure.
Even though it's got like Disney characters in it and stuff. The only reason why I played Kingdom Hearts was because my dad picked it up for me. I think he got it for me for either Christmas or birthday. He bought me both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And I started playing 1. I got to a point where it was too difficult and I couldn't beat it and I got frustrated, and so I went to Kingdom Hearts 2, and then I just absolutely fell in love with it. But my dad only bought it because like he's also kind of a Disney fanatic, and he was like, what the heck? There's like, because he's played Final Fantasy before, so he's like, I recognize some of these Final Fantasy characters, but there's also like Disney characters on the cover art. Like, this has to be a cool game. Yeah. And it is.
It is.
So I'm so glad that he did that. But yeah, it's a good game, man.
I love it. Okay. Next one for me is Stardew Valley. This one for me, I knew I needed like an indie game on here, and I was trying to come up with I just decided to go with like the first indie game that I actually played that like kind of showed me like, oh, this might be just as good or even better than like some of the big games, right, that come out, right? And I think it's still a game that I'll occasionally flip through and play through a day or two of the cycle, every other month or so, just kind of check in on my farm, see how things are going. I think it's so well written. The animation is beautiful. The soundtrack is banging. And the fact that it's all created by one person, and the fact that there are still people who want... Because why... the negative discourse around the video game industry and the corporate structure and, those types of natures are absolutely true. And I do feel like aspects of it are slightly more, or talked about more extremely than I personally would if I was introducing someone to the games for the first time. But it is games like this that kind of show like, that's not what it has to be. It doesn't have to be like that. And there are people that are still doing it solely out of their creative interests or their desires to just make the game that they want. So yeah, and this is also a game where I wanted to get a couple games where based off of one experience, like I will buy everything else that company or studio or person ever makes. So when Haunted Chocolatier comes out, I'm buying that game for at whatever price he sets. I'm buying it for full price to try to support as much as I can, because these are the types of projects and things that I want to see more of and continue to allow to exist in the video game industry.
That's a good entry right there, Stardew Valley. Yeah. I put a lot of hours into Stardew Valley too. I played that a lot. I haven't talked about it on the podcast much, but
Who was your you put a good amount of hours in. Did you ever go for one of the romance
the love
options?
interest?
Yeah. Who did you go for?
I don't think I ever got to the point of marriage. I was trying to just, get on good terms with everybody. I gravitated toward Haley because she's a photographer, and Erica told me that she's like an absolute jerk, but that's only on the outside, and there's like a softer, better part of her once you get to know her better. So I was like, okay, well maybe I'll pick her. So like I was starting to like pursue her, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't actually go through it yet with it. Yeah, I should go back and play it again. It's a good game, and they've added several updates and stuff. And yeah, Erica's really good at it. Like she's gotten like the best weapon in the game and done all the 100 whatever underground tiers and stuff. And like, oh my gosh, there's a lot to it. So, well, cool, man. My next one is Halo. So Halo was my introduction to first-person shooters, and a dear friend of mine, Ricky, he was a Halo lover when I became friends with him. And for context, I became friends with him when I was 14 years old, is when we moved back to the States. My English was very, very lacking. I couldn't speak very well. I could understand a little bit better because my dad would speak a lot of English in the home, even in Japan. But Ricky was the guy that I would go to if I didn't know what something meant. And be like, hey, like, how do you, what does this mean? What kind of thing? Yeah, just really good guy. But we had very different tastes in video games. Like, I liked a lot of Nintendo stuff. He was just full on the Xbox hype train. And so we both kind of shared our interests with each other and eventually found this overlap of video games that we both like to play. Like, one game that I played with him a lot was that was on my Wii system was Lego Star Wars. We loved playing that. And one game that he introduced me to that I fell in love with was Halo. And it was, to this day, is one of the only first-person shooters that has a dedicated campaign and you can play split screen. And that's what I loved about it, is that, like, he could carry me through the story of Halo, even though I sucked at the time. And I'm still not great to this day, but yeah, and the story was like deep, it was intriguing, there's good acting in there, it's fun, and I don't play a lot of first-person shooters, but Halo is one that I do really enjoy, especially the older ones. Some of the modern ones, that's another story. I have played all of them, but so yeah. Like, so there are a couple layers to the Halo series. Like, one, it was kind of like one of the ways that I got to know someone really dear to me, and it was also like during a time of huge life transition and cultural changes, and also just appreciating the FPS genre.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I should have known that would be on there. And there's another one that came to my mind that I'm like, I'm gonna be shocked if this isn't on the list. But no, that's a good pick. My next one is Star Wars Battlefront 2 And I am not talking about the original Star Wars Battlefront 2. I am talking about the EA Dice one that you and I played a lot of.
Yeah.
Similarly to Halo, but on a much smaller scale, just in the terms that, like, I didn't play a lot of shooters growing up, right? Like, I owned Nintendo and Kingdom Hearts and sports games. Those were the games that I played. And it was great. And you had bought Battlefront 2, you had played through the campaign. You were like, the multiplayer is really fun because there's like a lot of different ways that you can set it up. You can have it be cooperative, you can have it against, you can, you got all these heroes and stuff. And we played a lot of it. And I think it also shows me as a person that likes licensed games when they're done right. I think sometimes they kind of get a bad rap because a lot of them are poorly done. But when it's done well, like being able to be a Star Wars person and feel, just immersed and like you're experiencing it in the world, is great. And I still think, as far as like a local multiplayer game, like among, and admittedly I don't play a whole bunch of them, one of the ones that I've had just a lot of fun with and still think back and I'm like, I remember this one time. And yeah, it's just a good time. Yeah.
We did play that one a lot. That was a good game.
I think
it's still a good
besides
game.
Smash, probably more than anything else.
I don't know whether that one or Hyrule Warriors wins.
That's true. We did play
'Cause
a lot of Hyrule Warriors.
Boy, we played so much
we
Hyrule
played
Warriors.
a lot of Hyrule Warriors. That was a good time too.
Oh, man. In fact, Battlefront 2, the EA one, I'm sure that will be one of the games that I boot up every now and then in a hotel room when I have some Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's a good game. That game has aged really well. All right, my next one's Skyrim.
There we go.
All the reasons. I've said it before. So I played actually a little bit of it a few days ago. I was like, oh, I'll put up the save, because it's a save file where I had a bunch of mods loaded on it and stuff, and I also wanted to make sure that all the mods still worked. Everything worked just fine, and I kind of remembered what I was doing, and I started picking up this quest because, I had a bunch of quests in my menu as well, and I was like, I have no idea what that quest is, so I want to do that and see where that takes me. I ended up doing this quest, and I'm almost at the end of it. Like, I'd never done it before. Mm-hmm. After the hundreds of hours that I put into the game, I still every now and then discover side quests and things that are very unique, very cool, with great rewards that I've never discovered before. Like, there's just so much depth to that game. And the thing that, like, you got to realize too is, like, yeah, the entire map of Skyrim is not as big in terms of, north, south, east, and west as a lot of modern open world games. But when you consider, when you open a door, that it opens up to a whole new map, right? And there are entire subsections that are massive. I don't know what the math actually adds up to in terms of like total game size, but like it's just amazing. It's incredible. It's so immersive. And with modern day mods especially, you can really fine tune it to be comparable to modern day AAA games in terms of gameplay and stuff. So like I've added some different magic, that's not like overpowered, but just adds a little bit more flavor and stuff. But yeah, I love Skyrim, man. I will always keep playing that game over and over, I'm sure.
Always become a stealth archer, though, right? Always become a stealth archer. Yeah, no, I mean, as someone who's playing it for the first time, right? Nearly 15 years after it came out, I am impressed at how parts of the game, like especially like the overworld, right, and just kind of that open mystery of kind of wanting to explore that world. It's still like it's why I'm playing it, right?
And the music.
Oh, the music's great.
Have you seen an aurora in the sky yet?
No. But I did look up the other
It's
day when it
freaking
was at
stunning.
night and saw that there were like multiple moons or planets or something on this. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
wow.
Uh-huh.
Huh. And I don't know why like that was like something that stood out, but
Eventually the stars will align, not literally, but like it'll be if it's clear skies, no clouds in the middle of the night, and it's not raining or anything, you'll notice just gorgeous aurora, man. It is, yeah, freaking breathtaking. Yeah.
nice. My next one on here is Greece. I have sung these like praises of this game for almost 2 years now. I will continue to do so. The only two things that I'll kind of highlight here as to why I think it illustrates me as a gamer is the animation. I'm a sucker for 2D animation, and so when a game is based around that, looks fantastic. And the fact that it doesn't have to, like from a gameplay perspective, the gameplay is the weakest part of the experience, right? The story, the music, the visuals, those are all more resonant than the actual gameplay. The game is very simple.
The gameplay serves as a means to deliver the rest of it to you.
Right. And so I think it's a game that's kind of shown me I'm a very stubborn and rigid person, and it just kind of opened my eyes to how many different types of experience one can have while playing a game, right? And the other thing is that I am 100% a mama's boy, and this game has my favorite representation of a mother and child relationship and what that would mean. Some of the things that it tries to explore and represent will always hit home for me in ways that I don't know if any other game will ever really be able to match. I hope that it does, because it was incredible and is still incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, I played it. I think I finished it in about 5 hours or so?
Yeah, it's short. It's not long.
Yeah, the ending, man. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I fully recommend that game. It's very good. My next one is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I knew this was coming, and I didn't say it like a fool.
So
oh man,
this is one that I almost forgot to put on here, but so like I was telling you earlier, like I had 9 picked out like yesterday, and today, like I just knew that the last one would come to me, and then today, like as I got done with work and I was prepping for the podcast for you to come over, I was just looking around. And I'm like, there's one more game I need to put on here, and it's not. There's something that I'm forgetting. And so I go to the, my little
to the game
shelf, and then I see Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I was like, oh, that's it right there. Fire Emblem Three Houses was my introduction to Fire Emblem, and it's kind of an extension of my love for just kind of tactical games in general, and it builds on my love for Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on the GBA. I considered putting that one on here, but Fire Emblem Three Houses is just, it's a better, deeper, grander game. I could go back and play either of those games, but Fire Emblem Three Houses is really the one that deserves the spotlight, especially because it was, I was a little skeptical at first because I'd never played a Fire Emblem game before. I didn't really know what to expect. I'd only seen the Nintendo trailers. I needed a new game to play at the time. I was considering picking up Fire Emblem Three Houses or Astral Chain. I wanted to buy one of those, and I went with Three Houses because Erica was more interested in Three Houses based on the trailers. So we picked that up, and oh my gosh, did I make the right choice. I'm not saying Astral Chain is bad. I still haven't played it. I still every now and then actually hear good things about that game. I kind of want to play it if I ever get the chance, but I say that about a lot of games. So, but yeah, now I'm totally hooked on the franchise, and every Fire Emblem game that comes out, like I'm buying it day one, like no questions asked, because Like they deliver, man. They deliver. They're great games. I just love the whole chessboard type of gameplay.
Yeah. And who's your favorite Fire Emblem Three Houses character?
Oh man. That's really difficult. I never really thought about it. Because there are so many good, well-written characters in that game. I'm a little partial to the Black Eagles. If any of the listeners have played Three Houses, Caspar is great. Petra is great. I don't really care for Bernadetta that much. Do you know who I'm talking about? Does that actually?
I just know the leaders of the Three Houses are kind of your main.
Oh yeah,
reps
the
for
main
each one.
characters.
I just know them.
Yeah. Edelgard is great.
There we
you
go.
Know, she's great. Actually,
Throw back to 3 years ago if y'all can remember the Edelgard clip.
oh my gosh.
Good game. No, I
can't believe you remembered that.
I think that's a good pick. And
whenever I play as Byleth in Smash, I always use the Edelgard skin to rep the Black
your girl.
House's
Of course,
team.
of course.
So. But Dimitri is a really, really good character. Because, I watched Erica play through the Blue Lions, and man, he's like the tragic hero kind of character, you know, and he's such. Anyway, go ahead.
Classic. I know my last three. I'm trying to figure out the best order
Okay.
to share them in. I think I'll go with Tears of the Kingdom first. Tears of the Kingdom is not my favorite game that I've ever played. But like, if I had to get into a debate with someone as to what objectively, from like an objective technical standpoint, is the game that I think is the best that I've ever played, I do think it would be this. I think the amount of freedom and creativity that it allows you to play within an established world that you already know from the previous game, with updates to characters that you know, I think it's one of the best sequels ever. I think that it just does so much right. Like even if you make something perfect the first time around, like the second time can be even as good or potentially better. I know that's probably gonna ruffle some feathers in the comments, but yeah, I just think the options that it gives you, like you could play that game every day and always be coming up with new stuff to do. Right? Like you could do, like I saw someone who's like, I am going to beat Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom only by throwing weapons at people. So like that's all he does. That's all he does, and it's that kind of stuff where, you know, for Tears of the Kingdom that's now 2 years old, and Breath of the Wild that's over 8, almost 9 years old. The fact that people can still find ways to enjoy it in that timeless nature, I love them. I love them, and I don't think that I'll ever not love them.
So both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are absolute masterpieces. Let me just be clear on that. I have seen some recent discourse online that people are like, oh, Breath of the Wild was better than Tears of the Kingdom. Like I've seen several people say that, and I don't agree with it. Have you seen that?
I have. I think
I will say the one thing I miss about Breath of the Wild was the Guardians.
that's a great point.
I think the Guardians are irreplaceable. The way they were replaced were the Gloom Hands, but it's not quite the same. But yeah, go ahead.
I think for me, I disagree as well. I think that all Tears of the Kingdom does is add to that game, and the stuff that they add is just as high quality as what was there before. I think for a lot of people, because Breath of the Wild was the first experience in that type for them, that's why they think that it's better. But I think if you really sit down and look at it, the soundtrack is better in Tears of the Kingdom. The dungeons are better in Tears of the Kingdom. The story is more fleshed out and more cohesive.
Exactly. There are so many things that they just one up themselves on from Breath of the Wild.
The Sky Islands themselves are a beautiful aesthetic and addition. I don't even need to talk about the depths and how that's a way to completely expand that world. I had a really good time in exploring the depths. I think seeing all those characters and seeing how the world as a whole reacted to what you did in Breath of the Wild makes sense and continues to show like the recovery efforts that a fallen kingdom would have to go through. Like I just and we haven't even gotten into all the combat and the fact that you can fuse stuff and Ultra Hand ability. Just you can play that game however you want. Like I feel like if people say that they don't enjoy it, there is a way that I think everybody can enjoy that game.
Yeah.
Not that you have to. And if you don't like it and it isn't a natural fit, that's totally fine, right? It's not for everybody. But yeah, no, I disagree. I think Tears of the Kingdom objectively is better. If you subjectively enjoy Breath of the Wild more, all the power to you. I've heard that a lot, and I won't debate you on that. But I do think Tears of the Kingdom is just an improvement.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, my second to last one is Elite Dangerous. You guessed it. Yeah, Elite Dangerous was actually, so I've never been like, oh, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up. Like I've never been that kid. I've never been the space kid. I've never been the, obsessed with dinosaurs kid, that kind of thing. Well, that's irrelevant, but like, a lot of kids like go through that phase of like being interested in space stuff. Like, I guess I had a little bit of interest, but, like, it just wasn't that great. This game has given me the feelings of what I imagine a kid like that would feel. Because it's so... I've said so many of these things, but to sum up, like, it's so brutally realistic. If you blow up your space, like, if you mess up, you have to pay the insurance cost to replace the entirety of the ship. So you better make sure you have enough savings. Or if you get stranded out in the middle of nowhere and you have no fuel and you don't have the right materials to synthesize fuel, you're screwed. Like you better reach out on Reddit to somebody that will come and deliver fuel to you.
So the only way to get out of that situation is another player in the game has to come rescue you.
I think you can self-destruct your ship.
Which would just respawn you somewhere?
It would respawn you to a space station, but you'd have to pay the replacement cost
to get your ship back.
The insurance cost to get your ship back. And I think like you don't retain everything. So like if you have exploration data, other data you collected, you would lose all of that.
Dang.
How you can fine tune the controls of the ship. Like I play it with a throttle and stick. It's so immersive. You can play it in VR. And any place that's been discovered, like by NASA, for example, or whatever International Space Agency, you can go to in the game and visit and look at. Like, that's amazing. And the distance between each solar system, star, planet, all of those things are accurate. It's actually accurate. And that's just mind-blowing to me. And actually, it's a little sad because it's kind of turned me off from many other space games that I think I otherwise would be interested in. Like No Man's Sky, I played it for like, I don't know, a couple hours, immediately lost interest because I look around and it's like, this isn't realistic. Like there's no way this would be a thing, And I look at a lot of other space games like that. A lot of people would look at Elite Dangerous and say, well, the exploration is boring because you're going to realistic, like, planets.
Are you able to travel at, like, light speed to make that easier? Or, like,
Oh, you go well beyond light speed. Otherwise, it would be impossible.
Right, because I was like, the distance, if it takes years of travel in between planets in real life, like, how do you translate to that game? That makes sense.
Yeah, you go thousands and tens of thousands beyond light speed
Sure.
in order to travel. But even then, like, you know, if I were to get to somewhere, near Earth, for example, that's kind of closer to the outer rim, to Sagittarius A, which is the theoretical massive, supermassive black hole in the center of our galaxy, it would take me a very long time to travel there. Even if I max out whatever, drive or unit that helps you to like jump between solar system to solar system, because it would just take so many jumps to get there. And the further you are from civilization, the more risky it is too, because you don't have resources around you and stuff. So, but people would say that that's boring because it's realistic, right? So like when I go visit different solar systems, or I discover a solar system for the first time, like you're not going to find like weird creatures and dinosaurs and settlements and stuff. Like there's an alien hostile species out there that is like, there's a combat thing. They're really scary, and that's a whole nother story. But for the most part, like not really. It's pretty true to real life. But that's what I appreciate about it. And you can get some beautiful, beautiful screenshots and stuff. And there's a photo mode, and it's my way of becoming an astronaut, just in video game form. And like ever since playing that game, now there's like space channels that I follow on YouTube, and I keep up with like the latest NASA updates and Voyager 1 and 2 and what they've been up to and stuff. And like I don't know, I just love all that space stuff. It's just so cool, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
My penultimate selection is Red Dead Redemption 2. For all the reasons that I've spoken about before. But to reiterate, if I were to sum it up into one, is the character and the mindset of Arthur Morgan, who spends the first 70% of the game doing whatever you want, right? You do whatever you want. You are an outlaw, so if people upset you and you feel like the best way to handle them is to take them out, you do that. You take care of the gang. You take care of yourself and the gang, and that's all that matters. But as he faces his own mortality and realizes that in all honesty, whatever comes next in life, whether it's an afterlife or whether it's the end, the fact that he believes that he can do nothing to change what's going to happen to him. The only thing that he can do is decide what he's going to do with the remaining time that he has. And I think that mindset, and for such a masculine figure to become so emotionally adept, and if you look through his journal throughout the game, you will see like sparks of that emotional intelligence and awareness of sides of the game's events that aren't said, but from Arthur's perspective, this is what he feels, and it's a lot more emotionally driven and resonant than you might expect. The fact that he just decides, like, I'm going to be good for no other reason than that's what I think is right. There's no reward in it. There's no benefit that I gain from it. I can't change anything that I've done. I've made my bed and I'm going to lie in it. I'm just going to be better because that's what I think I should do, is such a positive mindset in my mind, and such a good way for someone to try to live if that lines up with where you are in your life. Just being good for the sake of being good is incredible. And the aspect of the game that stays with me even now, like I regularly every couple of days think about Arthur Morgan. And yeah, I love it. I'm so glad that I played the game, even with all its flaws that we've already discussed. Fully recommend it solely for that experience of, seeing if that resonates with you as well.
Every time you talk about it, I think maybe I should pick it up. And one of these days I might. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Lots of time. I totally know what your last one is gonna be.
I know that
and,
you know.
And I can't believe that I forgot to mention it, but go ahead. Let us know.
Nier Automata.
Of course.
Yeah. It's actually a lot of similar reasons for why, Red Dead Redemption 2 is your, kind of the one. Wait, that was your last one, right?
I've got one.
No, you've got one more.
I've got
Crap.
one more.
Okay. Yeah, I look at... I've said a lot about this game in the past, and if you want to know why, it's my number one pick of... I don't know, just in general, video games, right? What defines me as a gamer or whatever. Just go watch the review episode, Nier Automata review episode.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at the politics happening in the United States, I think about Nier Automata. When I think about the wars happening in the world, starvation, all these tragedies, I think about Nier Automata. When I think about, there are just so many things. Like, I feel like I now have gained a new lens through which I can view what happens in this world that gives me new perspective that I didn't have before. And it's really difficult to explain in a short sentence, and if I were to, without the context of that person having played Nier Automata, they would probably kind of brush me off. But that's the kind of power, impact that game has had on me. So, fully recommend it. But as always, disclaimer, make sure your mental health is good before you play this game. People have literally played it and had existential crises. So, yeah, but otherwise, and I'd recommend the game for 18 and older, I'd say, because it's most impactful when you yourself have gone through certain things, I think. And I think 18-year-olds, not saying you can't develop certain emotional maturities before that, but I think that's just my recommendation.
It's a good benchmark.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you had to make a suggestion.
Yeah.
Right. I think that makes sense.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What's your last one?
My last one's The Wind Waker.
Of course.
It shouldn't be surprising.
Of course.
This game is timeless to me. I think it crosses over into all other aspects of my personality. The fact that it is somewhat of a celebration of animation as a whole. It has, of all the Zelda games, the most of a Disney vibe. The soundtrack, the exploration, I think the dungeons are so tight. I think it's got the best final boss fight with a Ganon figure in a Zelda game. Snapping him in the forehead with a sword as you jump in the air and the ocean's crumbling around you. I know that there are better games that I have played, objectively. But none of them, subjectively, have come close to Wind Waker. And I don't think they ever will. I think everything about Wind Waker says more to me, not only as my gaming preferences, but me outside of that as well. It is probably as close to a perfect game for me and my preferences as I will ever play. I don't know if anything else will ever have the same combination and magic feeling as that game does for me. I hope that there are some that are able to combat it, but yeah, it's... If we had to do this list as just the one game to know us, it would be that, and I think it would cover everything that I've shared, almost everything that I've shared in every other game in one way or another. And I love it.
Nice, man.
I love it very dearly.
If Nintendo drops HD Wind Waker Remake, they port the Wii U version over to the Switch, are you replaying that immediately?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You're dropping whatever you're doing.
I'm dropping whatever I'm doing to pre-order it, and the second that it arrives, I'm clearing my schedule. All amounts of my free time will go to that until I finish it.
Beautiful.
Um,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Those are our 10 games that define us.
We want to know your lists. I'm actually very, very intrigued. We say that every time, and we really do mean it. But I would love to see everyone that's active in the Discord put their own list of these
Just do
in
like
there.
a top 10. And if you can't come up with 10, that's okay.
Just 5.
Yeah.
You
just
know,
5 is fine.
And, let us know your parameters, how you're taking it, just so we can be aware. But I really am intrigued to see, because we'll see some of your favorites and we'll see some new ones. Might be a good way to get recommendations for what we should be picking up and playing next.
Yeah, because I think we have a pretty healthy variety of gamers, especially in our Discord.
I think so too.
That like different
so too.
games and stuff.
So please do that. And we'd like to give a special thank you and shout out to our lovely Patreon
supporters. We have our Down Earth Cockatiels. Thank you, Joshua, Tyler, and Matthew. And thank you to our Down Earth Parakeets, Jay Maurer, Nicholas, Noah, and Qualthorn. We love you very much. I will talk to you from Japan when I post pictures and videos onto our Patreon. If you'd like to see that, go check it out.
Yeah. And just as you guys are aware, for any of you that might not be aware of how we handle some of the logistics of the podcast, after SJ returns, we are doing our year wrap-up and then our Game Awards, and then we tend to take a break for pretty much the entirety of December, just to kind of recuperate. There's a good amount of work and energy that goes into this. So after this, you've only got a couple more episodes for the year. So look forward to that. It's going to be great. I'm really excited. I always get really excited about these last 2 episodes. So
it'll be worth it. It'll be fun.
It's coming.
I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Said that too.
At the same time.